Looks like, is that the Black Hawk?
Yeah, that's not
the MH-53.
MH-53.
Like, yeah.
Okay, so here's still the C-130, but we see the MH-53 approaching as well.
What a massive machine.
Tell us how this one is used.
So this is a U.S. Navy version. The Air Force has an MH-53 itself, but in the Navy they can use this for resupply of provisions on ships. Lots of times the ships are out there operating far away from ports for long periods of time. This MH-53 can help both people and equipment get in and off of the ships, and they can also use it as a combat search and rescue platform. When somebody is down and needs to be rescued, the environment is still hostile, this is a great platform to get guys in and out.
It's called the Sea Dragon. It's the Navy's heavy hauler. The crew here is from Norfolk, Virginia. This is the largest helicopter in the entire U.S. military. And get this, guys, it is ready to deploy anywhere in the world within 72 hours.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with the agility of a machine, of an aircraft that size.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about the size, you know, we can list off the specifications, but for people that are watching, consider this. You're at a high school basketball game. This helicopter would go from one baseline across the entire length of the court to the other, and the rotors would be hanging into the 10th row on both sides of the gym.
It's an 80-foot rotor right there, and we're seeing what it can do. It can produce a downwash equivalent to hurricane-force winds.
Right.
This thing could pick up 25,000 pounds of cargo with a special hook and cable, too.
Yeah, and they can also pick up a 200-pound pilot. When I was going through survival school, we were in the water, and this thing set down over top of me and lowered a hoist, and then I had to hook myself up, and they pulled me out of the water, and it turned every bead of water into a needle. The amount of thrust to keep this thing aloft is measured in tens of thousands of pounds. When that's coming down on top of you, you realize those scenes in the movies when people are getting rescued and like talking, nope, no way.
That's something else, right? This fuel tank, by the way, holds 3,200 gallons of jet fuel. This can stay airborne for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable.
Oh, it really is, yeah.
So I was interested in learning about how these aircraft were developed, and as the story goes, the Navy had requested a version of the CH-53E for the airborne mine counterattack measures.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, when the military-industrial complex really ramped up in World War II, so many patriotic companies were producing all kinds of aircraft. And then once the military received it, they figured out what to do with it. Well, by the 1950s and 60s, the military said, you know what, let's first define what we want something to do, and then let the engineers figure out what to design. So this thing was given a list of duty specifications. We want a helicopter that can do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and this is what came out. Very versatile, very rugged, very durable.
Sean, as I see him kind of like hovering over the water, is it harder to fly hovering over the water like that, or does it make a difference?
So it doesn't. Aerodynamically, that helicopter doesn't know if it's above terra firma or H2O, but I will tell you, having flown a helicopter a few times with an adult in the seat next to me, it is extremely hard just to hover an aircraft like that. You know, flying it forward wasn't too terribly difficult as a card-carrying pilot, but when he handed me the controls and said, okay, keep us still, that lasted about 1 potato, 2 potato, and then he had to take over.
So is it shaking in your hands? Is the steering wheel, for lack of a better term, literally, are you gripping and trying to hold it steady?
Here's the analogy I would use. Imagine you make a paper airplane. If you fold it right and toss it, the thing wants to fly. Airplanes want to fly. Helicopters do not want to fly. They fight you the whole time. And so these guys are exceptionally skilled. The men and women who do this, very gifted aviators.
All right, the MH-53 in the air. We're going to press pause and come back with more thunder on WDRB.